So, hello everybody, welcome to CocoaHeads. This is actually the first time that I'm doing the intro talk. Normally Bart is doing that, but Bart is still in traffic, so that's why I do it, and I have to multitask a little bit. Why I'm not seeing that screen? That's not correct. You should see my screen here. Let's see. Oh, that's... Sorry? It's strange. It's already going wrong. If I don't... Hey, there we are. Yo, there it is. I hope people at home also see the correct screen. Yeah, I think I see it. Just a quick talk. Normally people know what CocoaHeads is. We're a monthly meetup for Apple developers, and we talk about anything Apple related. I have to switch next slide. We of course want to thank our sponsors, Stream, NS, Firebase, well, you see them all. Of course, we also want to thank Maxdoro for hosting us this evening, Marike also, and everybody here. Lovely food and good drinks, so it's fantastic here. We also have a shop, say it again, buy some stuff and you support CocoaHeads. Very nice sweaters, by the way. So I also thank Maxdoro already. Again, thank you for hosting us this evening. The agenda for today is, first of all, we have a talk from Bram Kolkman about Tuist. And the second talk is from Dima Kalachniuk. Is that good? About a journey from learning to creating an open source tool. So I think we have two really nice talks. If you want to give a talk, please come to us. We're always looking for people. It doesn't have to be really smooth. If you have just something interesting to talk about, it's always good. Just come to us, and we're happy to have you, because we're always looking for speakers. Next time, it's very close. It's, I think, 1.5 weeks. We are at ABN AMRO for WWDC. There we have the keynote viewing, so there are no talks. It's just the keynote and some drinks and food, and just nice get together on the 5th of June. And the next regular meetup is going to be at Flitsmeister, so don't drive too fast. At the 9th of July in Veenendaal. That's the first. We go there. It's not near Rotterdam. And that's again on a Wednesday. For people who are wondering why we're on a Thursday. But that was just the only day it was possible. So now we are on a Wednesday back. A friendly reminder to download the Apple TV app to watch our videos. Subscribe to our YouTube channel. We have jobs still on the website. And we also sometimes send out a newsletter. So just subscribe and maybe you get something. And that's about it. And I want to hand it over to Bram for his talk about Tuist.
Thank you. So Tuist, the tool you missed. I'm going to talk about Tuist, but first I'm going to talk about me. Who am I? I am Bram. I'm an iOS developer here at Maxdoro for several years already. An iOS developer and also working here. I am an enthusiastic Swift consumer, privacy concerned, and I am in love with syntactic sugar, over-engineering, and my terminal, I guess. And I guess that's much to my regret of my girlfriend, but sure. Tonight, so we're going to talk about Tuist, and the reason I'm going to talk about Tuist is because we're going to discuss Xcode files and what they are, the issues with them, the solution, which obviously is Tuist, and then if you do have any questions, please ask them there. So Xcode files, do we know which files I'm talking about then? The XC workspace and the XC project files. What are those files? Well, technically those files are directories, but inside there you will find a property list. It's not just any property list, it's a very cool property list. And you can see that there's a cool tool called PLUtil. See, I told you I love my terminal. And PLUtil will print out a property list, and you can modify and read values from a property list. So PLUtil, if you ever need to do something with that. And in here you can see I enter the directory Xcode project, and then I use PLUtil to print out the contents of that property list. And you can kind of already see what's wrong with this file. There's file IDs. It's pretty static. It's not immediately clear what it means, what it does, and what's pointed to what. And that's exactly the issue. So if I have an Xcode project, that's all fine. And then I add a file to my Xcode project, but then I forget to check it into Git, and then we get the infamous error. What is it? Build input file cannot be found error, I believe, or something like that. People having it in the git ignore or somewhere else. Well, all these issues. I can have it in Xcode and then remove it in my file system, and then Xcode goes all nuts. So this is just not really a nice way of storing and having files grouped together and say where they are. And I've created a project to show you that, to demonstrate the issue with the project. So let's see if we can get to that project. Yeah, it's a very simple app. It's called Cheesy Going, especially made for tonight, but apparently it filled in a huge gap in the market. This app allows you to show products from a fast food restaurant in an app, and you can easily theme it. So let's see if it wants to build. Should be fine. It's a very simple app. I did a mock network request just to make it interesting. It's nothing special. It's a bit weird. Anyways, that's about it. Yeah, I thought so. I can not find the resize. It's a bit small. There we go. Much better. So yeah, it's nothing special. It's just showing products that that it will sell in this restaurant. And it's very interesting because I released this and I did some marketing on it just last night, and then I already got McDonald's and KFC that really wanted to join in on this app, and they said, "Well, you built something cool. Show that to us." So I made several files to show this. I did, and I'm not sure. It's a bit tiny. I'm not sure if I can zoom in here. No, it doesn't show. I added 2 more targets here, the McDonald's target and the KFC target. And those are 2 new flavors, and they build the same app. And if I build KFC, you will see that KFC styling and theming is applied to the application. The beautiful KFC color. The product's definitely different. You can see a custom logo for the KFC app. Really cool. So then last night went really well, and Taco Bell called me. And they said, well, McDonald's and KFC are doing it. I want in too. So let's add Taco Bell to the list here. How would one do a white label app in this fashion? Well, we take one of the targets and we're going to duplicate it. So there we go. We have a new target. It's called a copy. Let's make sure it's named Taco Bell, just to have it a bit similar. And then also make sure that it has its unique bundle identifier. Well, that's not too hard. Then Taco Bell has its own logo and its own color. So also let's add an assets folder called Taco Bell. How convenient. And this is one of the things that's already interesting. I need to set where I want to add my assets. And if I do this incorrectly, then my assets will be messed up. This is already one of the things, because you use an Xcode project and you miss this, it happens every now and then, especially in white labeling, it gets very confusing. All right, accent color. Yeah, so tedious. A new iOS app icon. And there we go. Well, luckily, they delivered their info straight away. So that's the app icon. And then the color. There we go. Now that should be it, right? Oh wait, there is still a scheme I have to edit. All right, all right. Easiest to do is just to remove the existing one and add a new one. If you ever need to do this, this is way easier than renaming. And then the logo is still wrong. Why is that? Oh, it must be this one. All right, target membership. This is one of those things again. This one should not be added to Taco Bell. And if I am correct, which I'm not, well, that's interesting. I thought this would fix it, but hypothetically, we should have a Taco Bell built right now. Well, the color is fixed. I'm not sure why the app icon is not showing up. It is. All right, cool. So that's what we need to do for Taco Bell. Well, you saw, I did it a bit over the top, but you have a lot of checkboxes to hit. And if you miss one of those, or you miss one of the settings, or you add something in a wrong place, you will have a bad time. And for an app this big, it's not much of an issue. But if you do have lots of white labels or lots of files that need to be included or excluded, you can imagine that it becomes much of a hassle. So we want to improve that. Now, it's not really clear what the issue here is. I mean, everything works. I can push it to master, and Taco Bell can be released. So what actually is the issue is the next thing. Let's see. I believe, that should be better. I can increase this. You can see I am at the develop branch here for presentation, of course. And on the right side, you can also see I've added a meal, which is pretty much, it combines two products that the restaurant sells, and you combine those and have a discount. So if I run this app, amazing UI, you can see down at the bottom there is a family meal and a luxury meal. They include products and you get a discount. Now this is what I've been working on when McDonald's and KFC were already released and everything went well. And then all of a sudden Taco Bell called me. I was like, oh, I need to add Taco Bell. But this feature is not done yet. So obviously, let's release Taco Bell on the release branch. So git checkout main. Git checkout. Really? Git reset. What do you want me to do? Still not? Oh. There we go. Let's go to the release branch and open the project again. Right, so remember there is a develop branch with ongoing work, the meal feature, and in here we want to do the same thing with the Taco Bell stuff. So we're going to duplicate the thing. You see, it's very tedious. That's what I wanted to show you. I also wanted to change the thing here. Taco Bell. Make sure we add an asset folder. Call it Taco Bell. Make sure it's added to Taco Bell. New color. I'm not that interested in the color this time. We can drag in the app icon. Let's make it something fun. I'm not sure, it was kind of purple, right? There we go. Then we have to remove this one in the membership. I remember from last time. And then we had to manage scheme. Remove this one. press the wrong buttons. There we go. Taco Bell is added. Cool. I believe that's you can see I edited some files. Let's add them to Git. Make sure we commit it. Amazing. So Taco Bell is released. We're gonna push everything to the App Store. Taco Bell is all happy. And then I'm like, I remember my meal. I believe that's tested in the meantime or whatever. That's finished. Let's pull it into my current working branch. So I want to release the meal feature. So we're going to do that by git merge develop. Oh, a conflict. And the file is the Xcode project file. Well, why is that? Yeah, it's not only the exe user state. So what I can show you is that this is exactly what I wanted to show you. This is one of the things that is very annoying if you work with multiple targets, multiple teams, multiple features, and it gets annoying really quickly. The project file is just not really made for that. And sure, you could argue that this is quite easily solvable, but we now need to find it. Of course, I cannot find it. Oh, really? Well, then the presentation of this part failed. It should have said there is a conflict in your project. Right. That's annoying. Yeah, I was lucky this time. Yeah. Normally speaking, we would get this crazy error state in the Xcode project file, which is obviously very annoying, especially if you work with multiple people. If you work alone, it's 9 out of 10 times it's fine, even though I still messed up. But it should be fine. So that's the project. The solution is, at least for me, would be Tuist. Now, I believe Jeroen, who is also from CocoaHeads, has done several presentations on Tuist, and usually it's about micro frameworks, microservices, and it does that really well. But Tuist is more than that. It's a way to manage and create and maintain your Xcode project. It's an amazing tool, and I really recommend you using it. There's other tools out there too. There's Xcode Gen, Swift Gen. You can do stuff with that. There's all these scripts that you can use, but this one is really cool. One of the downsides of Xcode Gen, for instance, is that it uses YAML, and I'm not sure if you know YAML, but indentation becomes hard again. I don't know, if you indent something invalid, then everything breaks. It's kind of like Python. And I'm an iOS developer. Wouldn't it be great if I could generate my project based on some Swift source code? I'd say that's a decent argument. So let's do some Tuist adoption. I can close this one. I'll keep that one.
Have to use YAML because of Fastlane.
Yeah, well, you're not going to escape anything, but we have to start somewhere. Let's see. So this is the original project with only the McDonald's and the KFC. Let's see if we can adopt Tuist and see how easy it actually is to adopt Tuist into such a project. Where am I? I am in the code. Let's go to the right commando. This should be fine. Right, so Tuist is used to generate projects, and that includes workspaces, projects. There's other stuff it can do as well. But we wanted to generate our Xcode project, which we can do by saying, please create a project.swift file where we will generate our project. If I now do, I believe I can do this already, Tuist edit, it will open the project.swift file I just created. There's nothing in there. That is also logically, I just made that. Then we can define what our project looks like in Tuist. So let's do that. Import project description. This is what Tuist provides us. And then first of all, what I want is similar to the other one. I want a target to run. So let's create a target. One of the targets I had was cheesy going. I have some sources somewhere. I guess that's about it, all I need. So let's name it Cheesy Going. The platform will be iOS. The product, it will be an app. The bundle ID, I don't remember what I named it. It was something like, I guess something like this. And the sources, it was just one of the folders called Cheesy Going. And all I want is everything that is a Swift file. So my target now contains everything that is a Swift file. It's named Cheesy Going. It's an app for iOS. Now, a target is not enough to generate an Xcode project, so we actually need to create a project as well. So let's make a project. And look for the thing, add a target to there. And I can simply add target. So at the top is the target, at the bottom is the project. All very easy. Now let's see what happens if I'm done editing and generate the project. There we go. It created two schemes. The workspace is used to test everything that you generate. You can customize this as well. I'm more interested in Cheesy Going. You can see it added all the source code, all the Swift files. And if I hit run, the application will actually run. Fingers crossed, because the conflict didn't appear either. Amazing. You can see there's some issues already. The assets are missing. The size is not correct. We can solve that. But this is it's not too hard to adopt Tuist. And you already have a way to exclude your Xcode project from your repository and prevent any conflicts in that file. So XE user state, non-XE user state, anything that could crash in that file can be excluded already. We can safely git ignore the Xcode and XE workspace files. So that's very cool. To show you how easy it is to add other targets, I have also created a different folder. Let's close that one. It's the old one. Yeah, you can see this is what we pretty much just did. I fixed the issue here with the launch screen. So the launch, because I had not defined what the launch screen looked like, it's going to define the thing as 320 by 480 pixels, I believe. I solved that, and I also added the resources. So it will now add my assets into the app as well, so the color will be correct. Same with the app icon. And I believe if I go to 1, 2, yep, you should see that I've done some other stuff. I still have the Cheesy Going variant, and I've added McDonald's and KFC as two separate targets too. Now I'm not sure if you notice it, but there's quite a bunch of code duplication here. I'm not that much of a fan of that. So let's fix that. And Tuist does have something for that. Now this is one of the points, because Tuist is very open and open-minded in how you structure your files and folders. So you're almost always free to do whatever you like. There is some stuff that we're going to get into now that has to be in a specific folder or a specific structure, as far as I know. So we're going to create the Tuist folder. And then into Tuist we'll create the folder called project description, helpers. And then in that file we can create something called targets plus helper.swift. Then go back to the root and do Tuist edit. And you can see it generated those things too. Let's get those two next to each other. So what we can extract is, for instance, the platform, the app, the bundle ID, and we can pretty much, if you look at it, we can base them based on a name. So it becomes very easy to generate your targets based on the name of the thing you're going to build. So let's try to do that. Again, import project description. I'm not sure if I need to do this, but I'm not sure if I can either. That's interesting. Okay, we're going to extend the target, and we're going to do a white label. And it's going to return a target. So and we can simply copy one of those things here. For now, I'm not going to be bothered with all the default parameters. You could do stuff with default parameters here that, for instance, you want a framework to or whatever. It's not too interesting for now. And also change the name here. So what this does is it's exactly what it did previously, but now it does it based on the name of your application or your white label. And if you have set your source code correctly, your folder structure correctly, then it will generate everything for you with just one function. So we can actually remove most of the stuff here. Let's name this targets. And also KFC. Map it to targets.white label. And then in here we'll say targets. And this is because I need to import project description helpers, I guess. Oh.
Should be static.
There we go. That looks quite clean. And if I now need to add another target to my project, I need to define a specific folder where the resources are. I can simply add one string and everything is done and dusted. I don't need fancy checkboxes. I'm not going to miss or remove a scheme and add it again. It will simply be done with this tool. So let's make sure what I say is correct because, well, we've seen previously that it went wrong, but we can see that I have 3 targets and the workspace one. All the source code is in here and it works just fine. So if I now were to run the KFC app, we would be able to see a KFC app with the right colors and the right icon again. So that's, in my opinion, really cool. Quite easy to add a target and modify targets without having conflicts in those stupid Xcode project files. I'm not sure in which folder, if I have that even. Yeah, we could try this. I'm not sure if I added Taco Bell here already, because we could do that then. No, I haven't yet. Let's do that. So to prove the point, let's add the Taco Bell target one last time, using Tuist this time, and then see if we can merge the develop branch into the main branch here. All right. I need to. Let's see. Is it going to complain? No. Yeah, okay. Tuist generate. So all I need to do right now is simply add a file here, which is the asset folder, because that's almost everything I need to do. Make sure I name it correctly. It doesn't really matter right now where I add it. It will be overwritten once I generate the project again. That's the wrong one. Buttons are hard. Sure, make it some kind of purple. And that one too. Another app icon. And I should have one right here still. All right. Accent color, that's very sharp. Right. Then inside Tuist itself, remember Tuist edit, change the project. That's where we define everything that we want to create. I forgot to do that here. Interesting. All right. Well, I don't have the helper function here yet, so. It's going to be some old copy pasting. I mean, it's a demo, okay, right? Tuist generates. And we should see the Taco Bell one. And that works. There we go, nice and purple. And then it worked previously, but let's make sure that it does still work. And this was what I was trying to show you, that now it goes all without any issues, whereas it didn't previously. But it doesn't go with any issues here, so it does work. Tuist does work. It does what it's supposed to do, and merging the file is without any pain because there's no Xcode project anymore. So it's pretty much a takeaway. So in summary, I'll let you read the thing first. The thing is that we tend to run into some conflicts during our programming, not only in the code base, but also on personal level. But what we can solve is the ones on project level. We cannot ship our project to a customer directly. I cannot give them my MacBook. I cannot give you my MacBook if we have an issue. If it works on my MacBook, doesn't mean it works on your MacBook. So we need to solve those issues. And one of the things I run into multiple times is that an Xcode project or an XC workspace provides conflicts that could be solved if we prevent those from being injected in your Git or in your project altogether. If we could use alternative methods of generating those files. And I was lucky enough to get introduced with Tuist, and I really like the tool. So I really would recommend you to use it at least once and try it at least once and see if you get anything out of it. And of course, it does really good work for a white label app. We can create white labels quite easily. Are there any questions? I see.
So these are simple projects. What if you have an Xcode project with nitty-gritty bundle IDs and certificates and shit and Bluetooth and privacy statements which differ per everything? How would you do it then? Because that's all stuff is all stored in the, or scripts, terrible scripts, which are also stored in the XML file.
Yeah.
What do you do then?
It's very easy too. I'm not sure if I can show you, but Tuist does have ways to also add scripts. Both post and pre-scripts and run scripts and build scripts and all these cool stuff. There's ways to add those to the target. I'm not sure where it is.
I believe you.
It's not visible here. But there's ways Tuist allows you to do this. The same with XC configs or certificates or anything like that. You're free to edit your info.plist still. But imagine that if all of your apps need the Bluetooth privacy statement, you can generate it once in code and apply it to all your targets very easily. So that's still a win for Tuist, I'd say.
Yeah.
Did that answer your question?
Yes, thank you. Anyone else? Can it work both ways? Like generate the first setup from my Xcode project file?
How do you mean that?
I already have a project. It's way complicated, and I don't want to figure out how Tuist works.
Yeah, what I showed you is I integrated it just now in a working Xcode project file.
Yeah, but you still made the project again, basically. You started with an empty project.
Oh, right, yeah.
But I have this thing whole set up, and I wanted to just parse it and generate code out of it. Can I do that?
As far as I know, it can't, but it can extract certain parts that you can later on easily use in Tuist. So there are certain XC configs settings or stuff like that. It can extract those. But as far as I know, but I'm almost certain that it cannot do the other way around. Any other questions?
Well, thank you, Bram.
Thank you.
So we have a second talk by Dima.
Thank you. Hello, everyone. So I will. Hello, everyone. Yes, thank you. Today I will talk about the journey from learning to creating an open source tool. And I really like this name, but before I came up with it, that was another name. It was from learning to open source. And it was not, fancy name. I really wanted to have some better name, and I used the WordTune AI word generator actually to enhance my text. And I really like it because you can do it in different formats. You can shorten it or make it longer. So if you need it, feel free to use. So who am I? I'm software engineer leader in Platform Ground in KLM. And I'm originally from Ukraine. I came 8 years ago to Netherlands. I really like the country. I decided to stay. And 4 years ago, I was hired in KLM as iOS technical lead. And I was responsible for all applications, iOS applications, that we are making for our employees. Because we have two different departments. B2C, the app is developed there that you can download from App Store. But also we have another department where we develop applications for our employees. We develop only for iPads. We have 30,000 of iPads in KLM, and we have 7 different iOS applications to serve different purposes. So agenda for tonight is how do we learn. Brand new Swift UI framework that was introduced in 2019. Background, idea, first version of the app, advertising and marketing, and final version and thoughts. So let's go. How do I and we learn? So first of all, I really like videos. I really like to follow courses, different courses. For instance, Sean Allen, American guy who has really awesome courses. And it's visual. I'm a visual person. I like to see and to follow the person. The real downside of this is the only downside that I found is basically pace of the speaker, because someone goes really slow, someone goes fast, and then you need to catch up with that. Another thing how we learn is ebooks and articles. I really like that you can easily search there. You search for whatever you need, you jump there immediately in ebook or in article, so it also works. And another thing is podcasts. I listen to podcasts when I'm running in the evening, and also when I'm in traffic jam, when I'm driving the car, whatever. I really like this combination because software world is so fast changing right now that it's difficult to chase it. And I found podcasts as a beautiful way to combine the things while doing something else, and also to listen to different things. Yes, and of course, the main thing how we learn is basically hands-on. When you try the things, you create a project, whatever. By doing this way, I personally learn in the best way, and I can easily find out different things, and it works for me for the best. I think it's the same for you. And when in 2019 the Swift UI framework was introduced, I was really excited, and as you guys, I assume, also were excited about that, and you wanted to try it. I wanted to try it out. I immediately went through different articles, videos. Okay, nice, I like it. What else? And then I was thinking, well, I want to develop a project that actually I will use, first of all, and then other people will use. And it will be in Swift UI, of course, because I want to learn it. And then I had this idea in my head. And then in Twitter, Guy Rambo, he posted his open source project. It was a system menu app in macOS where you click and you see actually the status of all Apple APIs immediately. Like, is it red? Is it that means it doesn't work, or green? It's okay. Yellow means something is wrong, and maybe some issues will be when you are using those APIs. So I downloaded it, I played around, it was in Swift UI, was nice. I was, okay, I want to do something similar with the system menu app. Okay. I didn't know yet what to do. And then about the background, about our iOS applications in KLM, basically. So we have 7 different applications for pilots, for cabin crew members, for gate agents, for team coordinators, etc. And then we have 22 shared pods. So the actually piece of code, frameworks, that is used across all the teams. We have 4 teams that are working on these 7 applications, and we try to reuse, of course, the code. And you can see from this slide, I hope, that like some different pod names and also some of our applications. And when we use Cocoa Pods, because it was still 2019, and we use Cocoa Pods, and this is actually how it looks like, for me at least, when we just started to use actually Cocoa Pods. You need first to change directory to the particular path of the project. Then you write pod install. Sometimes it doesn't work. You need to write pod deintegrate, or sometimes pod update. Every time it's manually done, right? Okay. Maybe it's not an issue if you're working in one project, but remember what I said? I had 22 shared pods. So during the day, I need to jump to different pods to change the code. I need to run to check the code in different projects in my flight and flight deck, and then I'm spending too much time on doing that. So can I do it better? Yes. For each of aliases, for each of paths, I had aliases. So I can type API or KL UI, KL service model, whatever. I immediately, what it does for me, it goes to the directory. Then I write pod install or any other things. Okay, cool. And then I still have 22 pods. Sometimes I forgot actually what is the name of my aliases. And then, well, I need to do it manually again. So can we do it better? Yes, let's automate that. And then the idea came to my mind. Let's write it in SwiftUI and try to automate this particular task. So the first version of my app was like this. So you can actually drag and drop your projects to the window. It's a system menu app, as you can see. And then you see the name of the project. You click, because it is a button, and it opens terminal, and it runs pod install there. Nice, it works. Before it worked, of course, I need to do a lot of things because, okay, how to write list in macOS and SwiftUI. Here it is, like how to avoid limitation of 10 views in body. Okay, how to, a lot of how-tos. Actually, the way how we learn, we ask the question, we get it, and with all the failures, the knowledge comes. So it worked really, really well. I was extremely proud of this version of my app. I shared it with my colleagues, and they said, well, yeah, cool, nice, but can you add something else? Can you add pod update? Can you open the Xcode project actually when you click there? Well, okay, that was version 1.2 or 1.3, I cannot recall anymore. But then I added, you see, a menu. When you click on the project, you can open in terminal, you can show it in Finder, open in source tree, open workspace, run pod install, pod update. That's basically it. So I thought, well, I really like it. I use it personally. It speeds up my development because I don't need to know the type alias anymore. I don't need to do this magic with, with drag and drop in folder to the terminal to quickly go there, or like you, Bram, showed a nice way when you right-click on the folder, then open in terminal. But anyway, so I was happy with this state, and I was thinking, okay, can I make it bigger? What does it mean? Well, I want to open source it, but I'm really not proud of my code. I'm scared what people would say. Well, okay, I will spend a couple of nights to make it prettier. I spend 2 days, 3 days, and then, okay, no, I will go. I want to hear people's feedback. So I actually open source it. And yeah, well, nothing happens. No one knows about it, right? So I was thinking what I should do in order community to know about my tool. So the first thing, I was writing different posts on Medium. So I wrote 3 different posts and include, of course, the reason and everything, like what was the idea, background of it, and people started to open the project, open the GitHub page, and actually, play around. And I started to see first pull requests, first feature requests. Like, okay, but can you add a custom script, for instance? I don't use CocoaPods. I want to run Swift lint autocorrect, for example, or something else. Well, yes, sure. Then, like, it was in the night, but I was so excited that someone is using my tool. I immediately went to the code and started to program it because I was too excited. And then the person gave me star, and I can tell you, the stars on GitHub is just a fuel of motivation. It's amazing. I woke up in the morning. I checked my GitHub stars. Well, wow, +1, +2, yay! I want to continue. I want to do next things in my app. And this is how it went. So then I posted it on Twitter. I asked some bloggers, famous one and not, to to make a post about it. Only one person did it, and still was cool. It was slowly developing, and in the meantime, I asked my friend designer to come up with a better design because it was not really cool, and he did it, and I implemented it. So it was, really nice journey when writing about it, advertising it, and developing the tool. And then the miracle has happened after one night. So I woke up, I, as usual, checked my GitHub stars before I checked the news even, and then it was +40 stars. I was like, oh, wow. That's a lot during only one night, right? I checked the people names who gave it, and I've seen all people were from China. Oh, wow, okay. Maybe an iOS blogger or someone has posted about it, right? So I started Google it. Okay, Xcode projects, it's the name of my tool. And then I put my last name, Kalachniuk, and hit enter. And then and I put China. Right, and then I hit enter, and I've seen, I went with the first link, and then I opened this, okay, well, whoa, what it is, where it is, Xcode projects, Control F, Xcode projects, here it is, Xcode projects, someone actually, in a newsletter, someone put it, an information about Xcode projects. So that was really awesome, and I immediately contacted the guy. I told him, well, thank you so much, really appreciate it. Do you want me somehow to enhance it? Should I do something with it? And then he didn't reply. So if you're watching right now, please reply. Maybe we should add some localization to the app. Yes, and then basically this is a final version of the app. You can see I added, after designer actually made this UI, I added an icon, and I even added a custom picture for the project. I think no one is using it. Only one person who actually feature requested this feature. So you click on the icon, you put a custom image to your project. I'm not using it, but this is the way how I also learned, like, okay, how to open and find a picture and get it to the app. That was perfect. I learned, and this is what I wanted initially, learn Swift UI. So you can also see a lot of other things, like I have pod deintegrate, I have custom comments with a typo, by the way. It's not Swift autocorrect. And you see, I also can open derived data in Finder for particular project, which is sometimes nice, and also clear that particular derived data folder, and some other things. This is basically a custom comment that I was talking about. And at the end, right now, I have basically 194 stars, and it was a huge motivation boost for me, like every day, to be honest. And 13 forks, as you can see. So with forks is another story. So I was checking literally the code of the guys who forked my project. I wanted to see what are they doing, because maybe it's interesting. Maybe this is interesting. Of course, I waited for some pull requests, but doesn't always happen. Sometimes people just fork your project and do whatever they want, actually, whatever they need. So I was checking the code there, and that is just miracle how it happens. It like you are tired after your work, but this is your pet project. You find the time, you find the power to do it because of this GitHub stars. So that's really nice. And yeah, I went really fast, to be honest. Didn't expect that. This is a QR code to my GitHub project, Xcode project. So feel free to download. Please let me know what you think about it. Play it around. Let me know if it speeds up your development time, if it helps you. And please ask me any questions.
Are there any questions? I don't see anything. So I think you made it very clear. It was very interesting to see how you've gone to really successful open source project. Sorry, I hear some delay. So a really interesting open source project. So thank you again for your presentation.
Thank you.
And let's have some drinks. And thank you all for coming.
Thank you.